to our chief political analyst, NBC's Chuck Todd. Chuck, this was quite the debate for a variety of. I want to get right over to our chief political analyst, NBC's Chuck Todd. Chuck, this was quite the debate for a variety of reasons. It was a debate unlike any other we've seen. I want to get your analysis immediately right after this debate and what it means.
Look, we began this conversation before this debate. You know, one of the things was, would either candidate look like the caricature that the other campaign has been trying to paint of him? And at the end of the day, Joe Biden looks like the caricature that conservative media has been painting. And there were no clips tonight, right? This was, you saw it before your eyes. Look, I don't want to just tell you what I think here, Tom. I've been talking to a lot of leaders in the Democratic Party, electeds, coalition leaders. There's a full-on panic about this performance. Not like, oh, this is recoverable. It is more of a, okay, he's got to step aside. There's a lot of that chatter. This is about as bad of a performance in order to that Biden could have delivered if his goal was to try to sort of calm the waters among Democrats. I mean, look, there was a poll just out earlier this week that showed, you know, a lot of Democrats, it's not just elected Democrats, rank and file Democrats are both supportive of Biden but think he should not be seeking a second term. I have a feeling we're going to see more polling on this, and we're going to see that number even higher. But the panic level, particularly among elected Democrats who have to share the ballot with him, there's a full-on panic tonight. Maybe they'll get calmed down in the morning, but there's going to be there's a lot of chatter among donors tonight, a lot of chatter among major elected leaders tonight. Again, if the Biden campaign needs to, they have a lot of calming calls that they're going to have to start making, or they may see this get momentum publicly, and I don't know if they can stop that.
Well, Chuck, and I want to ask you about that, because if you open up any news website right now and you see the headlines are exactly what you're talking about tonight. Yep. So if you're a Democratic voter, if you're somebody who's going to vote for this party, and now you're confused because you hear your party leaders are concerned as well, walk our viewers through what potentially could or could not happen. I mean, is he going to run no matter what? Is this conversation too early to have? And is there a process in place where Democrats can get together? And if he's not their guy, is there enough time to find somebody else?
Well, look, I mean, this was always one of the interesting timing of this debate was always that, oh, this is intriguing. The Biden campaign wants a debate before you pass the last exit for gas, meaning before the Democratic convention. If Joe Biden decides he does not want to seek this nomination, he can release all his delegates. And then it basically becomes an open convention. And we haven't had a real open convention really since 1952. So, and that becomes a whole, you probably have the vice president. You might have a couple of governors. You might have the home state governor in Illinois, who's the host of the convention, wanting to follow in the footsteps of an Illinois governor in 1952, who was able to gather that nomination in Adlai Stevenson when the convention decided to hand it to him. But it all begins with Joe Biden would have to agree to do this. And you don't walk away from these things. They're going to fight. I mean, you feel a little bit of the fight tonight. They're trying to say, look, he was thrown off a little bit at the beginning. I don't know how you're thrown off, that you're surprised that inflation is the first question, but that's their excuse.
Chuck,
maybe that'll be enough to calm the waters. I don't buy it. And I'll tell you this, Tom, I think there are two public Democrats to be watching for and to see if they say anything. Because I think there are two Democrats who, if they went public with this, I don't know if Joe Biden could stop the freight train. One would be Nancy Pelosi, and the other would be Barack Obama. And I think those are the two most influential Democrats right now in this process, in this party, and where this could end up going.
Well, Chuck, it's interesting you say that, because the two of them have been some of his biggest supporters to date, right? And you're right, his strongest voices to date. I do want to ask you something. Do you think it was a bit of political malpractice by his staff to announce midway into the debate that he had a cold and not let people know that early on, so they could have lowered the bar, so people could have been ready for what we saw of Joe Biden in the beginning? And again, it could be spin, it could not be true, but listen, this is what we're hearing from the Biden campaign.
Well, I mean, put yourself in their shoes. Do you say it in advance? He's got a cold, and then it looks like you're really trying to lower the bar, right? I don't think there's any good answer there. But look, that was, among the feedback I got from one elected official who said, that's his performance after 5 days at Camp David? That's after rest? So I do think, frankly, the campaign had to come out with some explanation, because I guess the cold is what they got to hang their hat on this.
Thanks for watching.
That is actually a lie. He was actually preparing for this much longer than 5 days at Camp David in seclusion, and that's the best that he can look like. But guys, I want you to understand what is happening right now and see the bigger picture. They all knew this. The Democratic leadership knew this. Barack Obama, these fundraising people, the White House knew this. The mainstream media knew this. But guess what? They wanted this to happen. Do you see how they keep showing? I keep seeing clips after clip after clip, and they even talk to him, Gavin Newsom. They keep showing him, having him talk, do all these things. They have faked like Joe Biden's been okay, and then now suddenly they're caught off guard. So now they have to choose who is going to be their Manchurian candidate. The fix is in once again. This is how they plan. I'm not going to say the word STEA because you can get censored for that. But look at what they have done. Now everyone's surprised and his cognitive decline. We have to choose someone else. They've known this since the beginning. There has been chatter about this for over a year. But they're trying to play in our faces once again. They want at the last minute to take Biden out and replace who they want to be in front of, not who the people voted for in the primaries. They now have a plan in place and it is being executed. You need to open your eyes and understand that they are all in on the fix once again. They thought lawfare would be enough to knock Trump down. They thought, this is what they really thought. They don't understand how the mental decline has happened so rapidly. They thought they would have a little bit more time. So possibly they could get Joe Biden in the White House and then just come up with, he's mental decline. Kamala Harris would step back because they don't want her either. And then they can replace, they can try to figure out how they can replace Biden, right? But now they have known for a while that they had this opportunity to replace him. Why would they let him do this debate? They knew what he would do. They knew that he was in mental decline. None of them are surprised. Guys, they are playing in your face once again and trying to STEA the election. The chatter is centered around right now Gavin Newsom. And make no mistake, now that they show the American people, they have the humiliation ritual of Joe Biden has happened. Now they can do it freely and openly and get him out of there so that they can install a president. Not who the people vote for, but they can install a president of their choosing, these corrupt politicians. If they tell me Trump is bad, Trump is going to do this, Trump is going to do that. If Trump is that bad, why didn't you put up a better candidate from the beginning? Because they don't want that. They want to be able to choose. They said, we never again can allow the American people to have this in their hands. We have to choose. We know what's best for people. And they're going to do everything they can to destroy America, to take away the freedoms from the American people, take away the vote from the American people, and put it in the hands of people who know better, people who they think they're smart, the elite. This has been their plan from the beginning. Do not be fooled with, we had no idea. It's worse than it's not just clips anymore and blah, blah, blah. It's a bunch of fakeness. So guys, I'm going to be we're going to be investigating this along with all the other things, the lawfare that I've been going into. But now we know they're saying the quiet part out loud. we see the conspiracy, and they're trying to install a president. They do not want the American people to vote. We have known this for at least 4 years. They want to install a president, and now they had to find a smarter way to do it so they can throw their rocks and hide their hands and have no culpability in what is happening. It's not our fault. We had to do it this way. We had to this, that, and the other. So leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this. And yeah, you're not going to miss any of my updates. And also check out my new channel, Political ABCs, that I'm posting over there. The best clips I can find from Senate committee hearings and from Congress and all these different things. Just things that if you start to watch it, you're not going to believe the inner workings of Washington, D.C. and why we don't get anything done. I mean, you're going to believe it, but you're not going to want to miss some of these things that are happening, and also just to keep on top of the going ons over there in DC. But outside of that, I think it's important more than ever now when we see what's going on that we hold our government accountable and we don't let them get away with the stuff that they're doing. So please subscribe to Political ABC so you can keep yourself informed. I promise you, I try to take the most entertaining, the most factual clips, none of the boring stuff, so you can get to the meat and potatoes of what's going on and keep yourself and your family informed on what's going on in Washington, so you can vote with your conscience and not just what the mainstream media or what either party is telling you to do. So anyway, links are below. Link is on the screen probably right now, and I will see you on the next one.